Did you ever jump into a Call of Dragons and wonder which troop should I focus on? Well, worry not, because in today's video we'll be answering that question by going through each troop, discussing their pros and cons, and diving in detail when it comes to their commander pairings and such. So stick around in this video as we'll be discussing the archers. What's up guys, MEOWER here back with a brand new Call of Dragons video. As stated in the Mages video, we will be going through the pros and cons of every troop, showing you with the best ways that you can use them, how you can position correctly, their uses in PvP, in PvE, and their commander pairings. In this video, however, we'll be discussing archers. Now, archers are a very interesting troop because they have some of the best commanders in Call of Dragons, and also they have the most value when it comes to PvE content, as usually you'll see that Archer marches almost always at the top of the damage rankings, and for good reason. Now, archers are a pure DPS troop, which let's just list their pros and cons right now. Archers are pure DPS. They provide the most consistent damage damage per second, almost in comparison with cavalry, but we'll get to cavalry in a future video. They have a medium attack range, which is considered a pro and a con at the same time, because if you can position yourself correctly with archers, you can dish out a lot of damage. And the third pro for archers is that their commanders are absolutely top tier. I just love archer commanders, whether if it's Nico, Kenara, Guanwin, or even Craig, surprisingly, who is actually pretty good. And Husk is arguably a commander for archers because of the base stats he provides, which archers absolutely love base stats due to their already super high attack base stats. As for the cons of archers is that they have medium attack, they're very squishy when it comes to magic defense and physical defense, and their HP is relatively low. And of course, their march speed is not that good, so if they're caught out of position, they tend to just melt, especially if they're caught out by cavalry, which have a direct counter to them. Now, some might say that archers are some of the best troops when it comes to Call of Dragons. However, they are, like I said, they are fantastic in PvE, but in PvP, they're super hard to get working due to the need of high quality commander skills and high quality of their artifacts. So, whether if you basically need, which is in my opinion one of their biggest cons, is that you can't just run any random archer march and expect good results. You need really high level commanders and high level skills on those commanders. Top that off with really good artifacts to synergize all. So archers, while very good in PvE, and when it comes to PvP, they need more time and resources poured into them to maximize their value. Next up, the Archer Commanders. When it comes to Archer Commanders, one of my absolute favorite commanders in Call of Dragons, Nico, and the other, which is slowly becoming my second favorite, Kenara, are both absolutely amazing commanders, which provide a ton of utility and a lot of value when it comes to their buffs and debuffs that they provide, whether if they have a damage break, a pure damage reduction for the enemy with causing all sorts of damage decreased, and of course the juicy counterattack. Now, one thing to know about Call of Dragons and the battle system is that range marches do apply the full counterattack. It's not half like it is with regular cavalry or infantry. They apply the full counterattack. So they're basically hitting the enemy back for almost the same exact value they're getting hit with. Plus, it can even be improved by the likes of Nico and Kenara, as they can provide a value of up to 150% counterattack, which is fantastic considering the low range. So when they're hit by mages, mages can actually kill themselves when hitting archers. Also, a few of their commanders are pretty damn good, considering Guanwen is one of the best epic commanders in Call of Dragons, and so is Craig. Both of them are absolutely amazing, and of course, like I mentioned before, Husk is a pseudo archer commander due to the base stats he provides, which archers love. He provides a lot of normal attack when he is secondary, which he usually should be, unless for very specific scenarios where you want to run him as primary. And that is up to you, of course, as the player. And of course, his first skill, which applies a lot of buffs. They increase the attack, increase HP, and increase overall damage dealt, whether if it's skill damage, counter attack, normal attack damage, all types of damage. And finally, when he is awakened, he applies a crit for both normal attacks and counter attack, which archers love because archers tend to rely a lot on counter attack considering their mid range. As for positioning when it comes to archers, you want to position in the middle or slightly behind the mages. So if mages get rushed by infantry, you want to melt those infantry. If you are a bigger player, you want to position your archers, like for example, if this is the enemy march, you want to position your archers right here where the Darkling is in the middle to draw fire from your mages so you can make use of your insane counterattack damage, and of course your super good artifacts such as Shadow Blades or Viola's Bow, which are both some of the best artifacts in Call of Dragons. So the question remains, should you main archers? Yes, you should, as it will take you a long way, whether if it's in PvP and PvE as well. If you know how to position yourself correctly in PvP especially, you'll find yourself getting insane results because archers are usually the best march to farm merits with, including, which is right up there with cavalry. But however, the cavalry guide will be coming soon as well, and so is the infantry and the flying units. One more thing that needs to be mentioned is that every single faction has a different type of buff when it comes to their archers. So the League of Order, they increase the normal attack damage dealt by 10% every 4 seconds. But however, this effect does not stack, so do keep in mind it only lasts for 4 seconds, then refreshes every 4 seconds to keep up a 10% normal damage attack. The same can be said for the Wilderberg, which have Spearmen that increase all damage dealt, so that also includes counterattack and the skill damage that impacts the damage factors for the heroes. A video will come out soon on explaining how the damage factors work and such, so keep an eye on that, and don't forget to subscribe to see when that video comes out. And finally, the Spring Wardens will have the regular archers, which increases their march speed, which have less than usual march speed to have slightly higher base physical attack stat. As for the best faction when it comes to running archers, it's definitely the Wilderberg because of the Legion physical attack, and of course having all damage dealt increase is major, and their special unit is a flying archer unit. However, more on that when it comes to the video of flying units and dissecting how they work properly. That is all you need to know about archers, their pros and cons, their commander pairings and such. If you like videos like this, please drop a like. Don't forget to subscribe, and I will see you in the next video. Meow meow!